So today I'm back for another review video. This time I'm in something I've never made a review video of, which is a Camaro. This is actually a 2016 Camaro SS 2SS, and some of you might remember Joe, who had the orange GTO that I've reviewed a few times on my channel. He sold that car, and this is his new car. So a little bit about the car. Like I said, it's a 2016 2SS, and it has basically every option, if not every option. So it has the heated leather steering wheel, it's got heated seats, cooled seats, it has the navigation option, it has pretty much everything you could want. Blind spot monitors, which are great in a car with visibility like this. And sorry about the radar detector, let me write that down. Pretty much everything you could want. Heads-up display, the MPP exhaust, and you know, it's a very, very nice place to be whenever you're sitting in the driver's seat of this car. So far, it feels very nice. The interior is really impressing me on these 6th gen Camaros because the 5th gens just left a lot to be desired. They felt really cheap, and this feels like a major step up. We're just gonna go over the options on the interior. I'm gonna start with what I can see right now. So we have this great flat bottom steering wheel, tons of controls on it for your audio, multimedia stuff as well. You also have the button to control the steering wheel because it's heated. So you have the heated steering wheel, which is a great option. And you know, something that I really like a lot. You have your cruise control settings over here. A really nice wheel that's leather with this red stitching. It looks great. It's got the, I think he said it's the adrenaline red interior package. It contrasts nice with the black of the interior, and it contrasts really nice with the white of the exterior. As far as the other stuff I can see right now, it's got 2 analog gauges, and then in the center is a big digital screen that shows other readouts like your current speed, miles, what mode you're in. So right now I'm actually in sport mode. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in tour mode, which will loosen up the steering a little bit, and it'll make it a little bit smoother over these bumps. And going from there, this control, which you can see what you're controlling on this screen right here, it controls the magnetic ride that this car has. The magnetic ride has been something that I really like a lot, and I've only been driving it for a few minutes here. Putting it into tour mode versus sport mode really softens the suspension and makes it much more comfortable. The steering feel is way more loose. Not very confidence inspiring, but that's not what you're looking for when you're in tour mode. As far as other stuff on the screen, it is kind of customizable, which is really nice. So right now the current speed is on there, but you can see this big center screen right here. And what Joe showed me is that, so say you want to go to your audio and you want it on the screen. So if I want it over there, I can just swipe over and it pops up right on the screen, which is a cool feature that I think a lot of people, if they're not looking for it, they wouldn't know about. So I really enjoy that. So right now, I'm kind of on the brake while I'm downshifting with the auto rev matching, and it feels really great. I'm not one that's very good at heel towing, and so this is a car that solves that issue for you, so you don't have to be a perfect driver to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode and hit some corners up here and see how it does. So right now it's a little bit of a colder day, so these tires aren't gonna do great. It's on performance summer tires, so I'm not gonna push it too much since they're pretty hard right now and I haven't been driving long enough to warm them up much. But the car just feels very smooth. Just going into this sharp corner here, we're gonna hit the brake. Auto rev match. That's so nice. So, continuing with the theme of what's kind of in front of me right now, the visibility is pretty bad, as with any Camaro like of this year, and as far as, you know, the 5th gen to the 6th gen. I will say, as I've driven it more, I've got more used to it, and it's not too terrible, but it's definitely something that leaves a lot to be desired. Coming from a Mustang that has great visibility, this is just awful to me. But in front of you, visibility, you have a decent amount of room that you can see, but you do have this really nice heads-up display. As I had to park to reset up my GoPro, you might have noticed I used the electronic parking brake, which I think is a good feature, but in a car like this, I prefer to have the manual parking brake, or at least a foot one or something, but that's just kind of a personal preference. It is a nice feature to have, where you know it's gonna lock the brakes and you don't have to worry about human error. But right now, I'm turning out of this neighborhood and the visibility out the side isn't that bad, being perfectly honest. So one thing Joe told me is that for visibility purposes, point the mirrors where your blind spot is and not where you can see like the actual side of the car. This car does have blind spot monitoring, which works pretty well from what I've noticed so far, but with having such horrible blind spots when you look out, the quarter windows basically do nothing. It's nice to have that there. So again, on the brake, and the auto rev matching downshifts are really nice. I think that's a feature I'd personally leave on all the time if I drove this car, but you know, that's something that it's kind of to each their own. But as I was saying before the GoPro fell, you have this nice display which is more of a linear style tachometer that shows you your revs, it shows you your current speed, and it also shows you the G's you're pulling. So obviously I haven't done anything too crazy yet, so I haven't seen the G reading, but everything else is really accurate. It keeps up pretty well with downshifts and things like that. So it's really nice to have that there, and I really haven't driven many cars with a heads-up display like that, so it's a nice feature that I'm not used to. So kind of driving, we're gonna give the GoPro one more try. So like I was saying, as far as the clutch feel in this car goes, it's pretty light, it feels pretty good, and it's really easy to get into gear. He said it's really nice for him because his GTO is like rowing a boat trying to get it to the next gear, and this one it's a lot shorter, so it's much better for quicker shifting and things like that. So I think he's really enjoying that so far, but I haven't got a chance to do that much. But I think my favorite feature so far is definitely the automatic rev matching. So the car does have a lot of power. It's got a 6.2 liter LT1 V8 with mid 400 horsepower. So this car just cut me off, so I had to use the 4-piston Brimbos that are on each corner of this car to slow down, which work really well. Very linear. There's not like an initial jab or anything that's uncomfortable. It's kind of got a really good brake feel that you're used to in typical other cars that don't have braking power like this. So it's nice to have a normal feeling pedal while having very powerful brakes, in my opinion. So moving along, the car also has NPP exhaust, which I think I mentioned earlier, which is really nice. It changes the tone and the volume between different modes you're in. So right now I'm in sport mode, and it's pretty loud. It's got some good pops on downshifts. I'm gonna crack the window, see if I can get you guys to hear some. Worst case, we'll go to the GoPro on the outside of the car. Feels very smooth. I'm really impressed with it so far. I wasn't expecting that. Typically, muscle cars are more harsh whenever you're going over bumps and things like that, and this feels really good. I think that they focused a lot on performance with this car, as well as interior quality and things like that. So, kind of going off of seeing what's in front of me, I'm going to go down to the center stack right here that you can see, which is laid out pretty nice. It's not what I'm used to or what I would have done with it, I don't think, but I'm not the professional doing this. So you got this big touchscreen display right here, which is very clear. It shows you everything you need to know. It's pretty quick. It's pretty snappy with everything you want it to do, which is nice, and it's got a lot of different options. The car also has Apple CarPlay, and you can load Waze on here and everything like that, so it's really nice. You have your home button, your skip track button, volume dial is right here, and then right below that you have all your climate control. So you got cooled seats in this car, heated seats as well, and then right here, this big dial surrounding the vent is actually how you adjust the temperature. So turn it to the left to turn it down, turn it to the right to turn it up. So it was actually getting a little warm in here, so I'll leave it where it is right now. But you got that, you got your fan controls right here, defrosters, things like that. It's dual climate zone, which is really nice, so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to feel in the car, not based off your passenger. So really nice down here. Right below that is your hazard button, which is easy to reach, not hidden or anything. And then you have your shifter. So the shifter is pretty nice. It's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, which is kind of surprising after only being a few years old. And then you have this nice black shift boot with the red stitching to kind of go with the contrast stitching all around the cabin, as well as the red seats. So moving back from that, you have your traction control off button, which I'm obviously not going to touch right now, or at all when I'm doing this video. And then you have your mode selector. So you push up to go up on the list, you push down to go down on the list. And like I said, it is all displayed up here on the screen. So I'm in sport mode right now. If I want to go into tour, it pops up right there and it goes into tour. So really nice, and works really well. Right behind that's your electronic parking brake, which again, I talked about that earlier. It's a good feature. It's not something that I would, you know, I would prefer to have a manual one, but I'm sure I'm of the minority with that. So, as far as handling goes in the corners, that was a pretty small corner, but it felt pretty good. I felt confident going into it. I'm in sport mode right now, so the suspension is still not loose, but it's not tight either. But I really enjoy it. So, going around the rest of the interior, door handle is pretty nice, easy to find. It's not like a Corvette where you have a push button and it automatically pops out or whatever. So nice there. You have your power locks right next to it. You have your memory seat controls on the driver's side, obviously not the passenger side. And there's 3 different settings you can do, which is like your main setting, your second setting, and then one that kind of pushes the seat back, I guess, whenever you get out of the car. Something like that. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what it looks like. Right below that on the side here, you have your window controls as well as your mirror controls, and they're kind of at an awkward angle in my opinion, but they're you know, reachable. I kind of have to push my arm back uncomfortably to reach it, which I don't like. I'd rather it be up here, but obviously with the design they had to kind of put it there. As far as materials go on the interior, this is hard plastic, which is kind of to be expected. This is a nice kind of plush leather, and down here where you rest your elbow is a little hard, but it's also leather, which is nice. So as far as the seats in this car, I'm pretty skinny. I'm 6 feet tall, and I don't weigh a lot, and I'm more slim, but the seat still holds me in pretty well. The bolstering isn't very aggressive, I think, because this is more of like a touring type car. If you got the 1LE package and then really aggressive Recaro seats, then you'd be a little bit more snug in here, but they're definitely good seats. I think the bolstering on my thighs is probably better than the bolstering anywhere else, so it holds you in. It feels really nice, and I think it's pretty comfortable. It'd probably be pretty good on a longer road trip, but I haven't been driving this car long enough to tell. Another thing I do like is the sunroof, actually, which a lot of like muscle type cars tend to not have that. I know the Mustang doesn't have that as an option anymore from what I know, and I really like that. I think it's a nice feature. It looks a little awkward on the white paint, but I think that's something you could take care of with a roof wrap or something like that maybe. So in order to activate the active rev matching, a lot of people get in these cars and they see these paddles and they're like, I thought it was a manual, and yeah, it is a manual, but to save costs, I guess, Chevy leaves these paddles right here, and instead of using them to control downshifts in an automatic transmission car, you use it to turn off your active rev matching. So right now it's off, so it's up to me to rev match, which I still do enjoy a lot. I love rev matching, but obviously this is a car I'm not used to, so I probably won't be too great at it, but it is nice to have the option to turn it off and back on, which I think is really good. So right now I'm about to go over a bigger bump in the road. There's a lot of construction going on. I picked the wrong place to do this, so I'm going to try to find a road that's less congested, and we'll actually get after it a little bit, but so far I'm pretty impressed. I'm not a big Camaro guy. I'm a fan of how they look from the outside for the most part, the 6th gens, like this year of the 6th gen, but the new ones just look horrible in my opinion. I think it looks absolutely terrible, and there's not much you can say to change my mind on that, but the interior I think remains basically the same, and the interior is very nice. The flat bottom steering wheel is nice, the notches on the steering wheel are really nice, so it's a good feeling car on the inside. It feels like it's high quality, but you still have the hard plastics like on the dash. I think that the gauges, how far they come up into your line of sight, is a little annoying, but it's something you get used to as you drive it. So as far as modifications go on this car, it's relatively stock. When Joe bought it, the previous owner had painted the hood vents, which are functional. He painted them white instead of the black they come in, and he painted the white spoiler black. So kind of weird there, but it doesn't look bad. I think I'd like it the other way around, or keep the spoiler black and redo the hood vents black. But other than that, it has the skip shift eliminator, and then it has what he believes is the 1LE front splitter, which also looks really good on it. It accents the other black things on the car. This car did come with the alloy wheels, I guess, or the color that's more like a silver, and the previous owner painted them gloss black, which I think was a good call. It looks really good. I'm gonna put it in a track mode and see if there's much of a difference in the... Oh yeah. Do a little pull. So overall, as far as the interior quality and amenities, I'm very impressed by it, which I didn't think I would be. I think I went into this car with the mindset that, you know, oh, I like Mustangs, this Camaro's gonna suck, but it's honestly very nice. Alright, we're out of the way, let's get after it. So like I said, active rev matching on. Just gonna be doing a little braking while downshifting. I'm impressed with how well this car handles, for sure. The steering feels nice and tight, doesn't feel numb at all. Can be attributed to these summer tires on a 40-degree day. Brakes are great. Alright, one more back road here. While I'm in second, I'm just going to go ahead and go. It's weird, there feels like there's almost this lag whenever I get back on the throttle after shifting. I'm not sure that's a setting I have wrong or what, but it kind of takes the adrenaline out of a quick shift. So it could be traction control since it's kind of a cold day. The tire should be more warm by now. I've been getting after it for a while now. The 4-piston Brembos on all 4 corners are really nice. There's a little bit of understeer with the cold tires, but it's not too bad. You can definitely feel the weight of the car still, but like I said, I'm only in sport mode right now, so I want to see what track mode will do. But right now, it feels pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to turn active rev matching off, so I can get some downshifts in myself. In all honesty, the A-pillar visibility is not that bad. That's probably the best field of view you have in this car, so we're going to get on a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and put it in track mode though. See if that'll affect the traction control. Yeah, there it was. That felt much better. This is a very linear progression. You can really feel the differences between each mode, which I'm a big fan of, because a lot of the time, that's not the case. Yep, track mode is way more stiff on the suspension. It feels way more planted in this mode too. Got a little loose there, but we did it. Alright, so got a few pulls in. It felt pretty good. The car definitely feels powerful. The transmission feels pretty good. I think a short shifter would go a long way in this car. I say that about a lot of cars I drive, but it's true. It feels pretty confidence-inspiring. If there's one thing I could change, I think it's like, I just want that instant throttle response right after a shift, and I feel like it's not there. I don't know if that's a setting that I just don't know about, or if it's how the car is with just throttle response, but maybe it's something that could be tuned into the car. I'm not really sure. Overall, my impressions of the car, I really like it. The interior is a very nice place to be. Some materials could be a little better, but it's kind of what you would expect with a car at this price point with the performance that you do get. Exhaust note is great. Power is great. Brakes are amazing. Steering feels great. All the different modes are unique, and they feel like you're actually changing something with the car, which is what you want whenever you have different settings like that in a car. A lot of the times you change it and you're like, maybe I feel something. You just kind of think it's placebo, but this you actually do feel the differences, and it goes a long way. So I think overall Chevy did a really nice job with the 6th gen Camaro, especially for the 2016 year. But yeah, I'm a fan of this car. I am. I don't think I'd ever buy one just because of visibility, and it's not really my style. There still are a few things that are left to be desired by me personally, but for the target market of people that are really hardcore Camaro fans, I think this is a really good platform, and it's something that a lot of people would enjoy. So with that being said, I really appreciate y'all for watching. So if this is your first video of mine, thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind liking or commenting and subscribing maybe. Check out some of my other videos and reviews I have. I prefer to do Fords, and I have a lot of Fords done, pretty much every performance car in their lineup of recent years. So if you want to check those out, that'd be great. Check out the GTO review as well that Joe used to own. That was a really fun review. This one was as well, so thanks again, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one.